Welcome back to the Best Ball Happy Hour here at 4for4 Football. As always, I'm your host, John Daigle, joined today by the infamous trio. First up, the man who showed up last week, none other than Underdog's Hayden Winks in the USC gear. Hayden, how are you doing?
Fight on, baby. Doing good. Did a little solo best ball stream today, so I'm riding the groove.
How are solo streams? I get to do those.
They're different.
Seem less fun.
Yeah, well, I'm typically doing this where I'm shoutcasting somebody else is pulling the trigger, but since it was an employees draft, it was actually like my team. Like nobody's telling me what to do, which is actually kind of nice.
And the man who now has an opinion on Comiskey Stadium, I think is what it's called, in the South Side for the White Sox. Also at PFF Studios right now because he is Pro Football Focus's own Ian Hartitz. Ian, how's it going, buddy?
Guaranteed rate, the G-spot, Daigle. You got to know that as a Chicago native. But yes, I'm not sure if it was worth going to if I'm now being introduced second behind Hayden. But it was a fun time. Great day, be great. And I will say this, that weekend, I was in Chicago Thursday night, and I went to a bachelor party in Wisconsin. So about 8 total hours of driving. And I swear, I spent about 7.5 of those just grinding Underdog. So I am ready. I got takes. Let's go. I'm going to win $75K. I don't know what you guys are doing.
Are you the actual driver or you're the person on the passenger side? You seem like a passenger side individual to me.
If it's me, I love my fiance, but if it's me and her, I'm driving 100% of the
Oh,
time.
okay.
If I'm with my friends, I usually let them drive.
Okay, that's totally fair. As we all know, I'm the driver of the show. So usually what happens when someone mentions an 8+ hour drive, they yell at me as if like I'm to blame for their 8+ hour drive just because I enjoy them. But don't blame
you can't. You don't actually enjoy them. Like sitting in a car for 8 hours is not enjoyable.
I love them. I genuinely love them.
It really is not.
And that's why I averaged, like last year on the road, I averaged 14. I usually went 14 a day. I loved it. Meditational. And by the way, we're not doing a best ball mania today. We're doing a puppy. It only seems right since the puppy we're a week into it now. Drafts are still going very strong. I don't know if you have the numbers, Hayden, but I know they are flying off the board. And what makes them fun, honestly, as I click enter, that means first come, first serve, as always. Already halfway filled, too. What makes them fun is that I know also the people are trying different things to their strategies, Hayden, but also what's happening is that like it's actually acting as an introduction to Best Ball 2. And I feel like a lot of the builds we're seeing is because people like haven't drafted in Best Ball yet or are catching up on the NFL season. So like strategically, I do think it's most optimal right now to just build smart lineups because right now a lot of smart lineups are not being built roster construction wise.
It's like everything. If it's like Best Ball Mania 3, love it. It's an awesome game, super cool. That's like goes the entire summer, but it costs $25. Like if you've never played Best Ball, are you going to enter the $25 one or the $5 one? So these puppy drafts are great for the community because we get this entire community to grow because of the $5 puppies.
Hold on. Is Daigle trying to say that not everyone is just purely focused on week 17 matchups? Is that your take, Daigle?
I'm trying to say that I love people getting involved in the game, but also you can tell like we need a little more reading of any roster construction articles in the puppy right now. It's the Wild West. It can get out of hand very quickly. We're just in a random draft.
I'll take it over Mania, where I'm like not getting anyone I want. You know, this is good with me. People are catching up on the Adam Thielen hype. My God, I've had like back-to-back nights where I've been able to start with. I've got Andrews round 2, I think Lamar in round 5, and I've missed Bateman by like 3 picks. So I think this is the night.
Join my campaign, Ian. I won't win 10 million. I won't win 2 million because you will. That's what I'm running on this year.
I like that. Daigle, you're the Jameis guy this year, right?
Very much the Jameis guy, even as he's limping through OTAs. Don't care because they're OTAs. So
he is. No, it doesn't. I heard one of the doctors the other on timeline was saying like the bulky brace he's wearing, like it'd be weird if he wasn't limping at this point. So dude, and that stack's affordable too. Michael Thomas is cheaper right now because people are worried too much. Olave is still down there. I actually moved Jameis up to I think like QB 18 or so. Like why take Ryan Tannehill over Jameis Winston? What the hell was I thinking, man? But now we're good. So.
Tannehill splits are also weird as it looks like we are going to draft as a team from the 112. So this will get interesting. But Tannehill splits are also interesting because 5.5 yards per attempt on 30% of his dropbacks last year with that A.J. Brown and Julio Jones. Now we add Treylon Burks and Robert Woods to the mix. Also have Malik Willis waiting in the wings. So I don't know what's going to happen. But I imagine he doesn't have as much upside in previous years.
He's probably not going to rush for 7 touchdowns.
That probably won't happen.
Why
either.
draft a single tight end this year? Why?
I mean, Derrick Henry is just kind of sitting there. It last year he did it. It's so a career high is funny when you mention it, but it was a career high 2.5 targets per game. Like that's at least more than he averaged before.
Well, and the thing about these, running backs getting older, it's like, yeah, we have studies that show they're not going to be as effective, but if he's getting 350 touches still, like it's okay if he's 80% of the guy he was. He's still going to ball out. I don't know. Betting against Derrick Henry is just betting on him getting hurt again. And last year was the first time you ever missed multiple games in one season. So,
Hayden, as we wait for our pick at 112, you usually have been doing. Oh, Ian did have his own team. I usually look for Freddie Johnson. That's fine. You can label your team as we move along here. But usually do a study. Usually have something new researched when you arrive. I now know recently you've been diving in on those last round picks as well as some other things. So what new information do you have for us this week?
I did a column on uniqueness because that's been like kind of the term for best ball. It's like obviously just tailing off of DFS, and like you literally can't talk about anything with DFS unless it's about uniqueness. And in best ball, it's harder to do because most players are drafted 100% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
In DFS, half the roster is 15% owned or less. So it's how do you get unique in best ball? One of my favorite things is getting weird in round 2 in particular. And what I noticed, I looked at like the Austin Eckler teams from last year. Austin Eckler was always paired with Nick Chubb, Aaron Jones, and Calvin Ridley, who were the players that were going at the round 1-2 turn with Eckler. But if you went from Eckler down to like Najee Harris, who was like going like 19th overall last year, they were never paired together. So like some of the unique pairings is the one way to get unique. I wrote about that on Underdog Network if you are curious.
So like Hayden, because I know you've done some other good stuff showing that we don't want to go too far past ADP. What kind of is your limit there?
Well, that's ADP later in the draft. I want to stick towards like ADP, but like this is just like for uniqueness. And basically, if you're looking at like last year, taking this Austin Eckler example, Nick Chubb was like being drafted 13th overall. Najee Harris was 19th overall. Going into last season, what were the projection differences between Najee Harris and Nick Chubb?
So as long as they're like the same tier. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. And that's like within 10 picks. I'm not going to be too concerned either way.
That's fair.
We're at the end here. I'm looking at, I feel like last week we started Mixon and Swift. You're not allowed to draft, but I feel like this would be a perfect
example. Go Swift and Aaron Jones. Those two are not going to be paired together. Are they that much different projection than Joe Mixon?
That's a good point, actually.
Like this is like the uniqueness. No. Two players that are being drafted in the middle of the second round are not going to be paired together. They're not going at the 2-3 turn where they could be paired together. They're not going at the 1-2 turn. And the puppy drafts close so quickly that we shouldn't expect these ADPs to change all that much. So there's not going to be that many teams in here that have both Swift and Aaron Jones. And if they just happen to be the two guys that you need this year, all of a sudden you're ready to go.
I have a Mixon, Aaron, Swift, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, they're right next to each other.
I like those PFF mics too, Ian. Less echo on that end in the PFF studio. They're good.
I'm using my headphones. I don't even have.
It sounds
the fancy mics right here, but I don't even have it plugged in.
It sounds like there's some like sound I don't know. There's something going on with the studio that it sounds really good in there.
Oh yeah, it's probably like absolutely the room's soundproof and all that.
Yeah,
shit,
it
so
sounds
gotta love that. Maybe I should actually make the 15-minute drive here more often. Who knows?
You probably should. Instead, you go to Mad Tree with me. That's what we spend.
I'm going there tomorrow night. There's actually some Cincinnati sports analytics thing is at Mad Tree. So I probably would have been there anyway, drinking my ass off.
Maybe the best.
Hey guys.
Maybe the best IPA is in Cincinnati. Honestly, maybe the best brewery. Someone would probably correct me in the chat. Sours, it's probably what's that church brewery? Theory. There's someone with a beard who's getting really pissed at me for getting their brewery wrong, but nonetheless,
you're the one with the beard.
That's
mad about the beard.
That's my take on Cincinnati beer.
Alvin Kamara is RB10 right now. I'm moving down to 14 yesterday. Like, how long is he get suspended? When we already know someone's suspended, like that's kind of a big deal. Or like we're pretty freaking confident.
Hayden discussed last week that it sounds like the rumor is at least tape is available. And as we know, the NFL needs evidence. They need video proof because they're too stupid to realize just news is good enough sometimes. So the fact that there is tape available, that's what makes me keep drafting Mark Ingram in the last few rounds, assuming they're not going to add anyone because they didn't add anyone last year. So
I think there was like a delay in his legal case. Now it's like being pushed like August, and like all of a sudden, like there's another delay. Then all of a sudden, this case could just go all the way to 23. But I think that right now, if the
Dalvin's
video
case.
replaces it, that one too. I think that Alvin, if things stay on pace, I think we're looking at 4-game suspension. Or even if things don't stay on pace, like legally, if that video leaks, all of a sudden he can be facing. Apparently, he allegedly punched this guy when he was unconscious. Like that's not a great look.
Nah, not going to do well in the front office. And how long he gets suspended will also be the big question. But yeah, 6 games, something like that?
You would think that
4 or 6.
Yeah. I don't know who the hell had that latest report on Watson, but that's another one, man, where it's just tough for me to get behind like Amari Cooper and stuff right now. Even, David Njoku is still pretty affordable, but I think we need to draft the Browns under the assumption we're getting like half a season at best from Watson.
I think we're still going to see 6 games out for Watson. That's what I've been assuming. Also,
I would take the over.
Funny's not the correct word, but it's also weird when people react to, like 23 accusations. Now I'm worried as opposed to 22. It's like that extra number made people freak out. It's like, now I'm concerned.
Well, I'm about to draft someone who, I don't know if you guys heard, he's being used as a receiver a lot more in camp.
Lamar Jackson already?
Mr. Saquon, unless Darius Love Hall snipes him. Oh, no, I spoke into existence.
Yeah, a little too early. Lamar Jackson couldn't be used as a receiver at camp even if they wanted to, because he's saying, how about you just pay me instead?
I kind of have Fournette, Connor, and I have Fournette, Cook, Barkley, and Connor. And I
got them all jammed up. Yeah, I got them sandwiched around each other. Barkley, I'm totally fine with 3rd round. I think he's going to be one of the first players to get steamed here over the month of lull where nothing happens. We'll see what's going on though. But yeah, just the fact that I think you've mentioned in previous shows, Ian, only Matt Breida and Barkley's going to the 3rd round. I won't take him in the 2nd round, but 3rd round, only Matt Breida behind him. Sure, let's get it on.
He caught 90 passes as a rookie. I'm not saying he's going to get there again, but hell, give us 70. And it's like, even if he's shit, like even if he's terrible, then he's getting too many touches to bust. Like you don't see running backs get the workload he's projected to get and not do anything.
Ian, you always made a good point about playing. Thanks, like some running backs play through injuries, and then
you don't even know what it is yet. You're like, hey, thanks, bud. Appreciate the compliment.
Yeah, well, but like it's true. Like Saquon, like if he was playing through like an ankle injury and he looks bad, then we're like, oh my god, he's totally washed. But if that player just would have sat out, we would have been like, oh, he just missed some time.
Exactly. Like it's sadly all these Gen Zers these days don't appreciate someone playing through the pain.
There's a difference between hurt and injured. Javonte,
you're right.
There's nobody with this pairing, right? Just based off of uniqueness.
You're right. I agree. Especially ADP 25. We're a full 11 spots after, nearly a full round later. So we'll let the clock suck up to Javonte. And then ADP wise, again, I'm using our underdog top 250 for 4. Have Brandon Cooks pushed up a little too far, but only to keep everyone in mind that we are very high on him. But Michael Pittman's 32. I think that's kind of where I want to go.
Cooks over Pittman?
Is 4 strong RBs, is that overkill, Hayden? Or is that unique? Like Cam Akers right here.
Go ETN.
No, I would not go Akers.
Okay. I just didn't know if it was egregious.
ETN over Akers, man.
I'll go Akers over ETN.
I think Akers. I think ETN is just basically DeAndre Swift. Like that's kind of how we should be looking at him. Swift has done it at the NFL level, so I'm not saying take ETN over Swift, but like even if by some miracle James Robinson is ready to go by week 1 with this Achilles, like they're going to use both of them, and it's going to be ETN with the fantasy friendly pass down role. So like there's a chance that Robinson comes back, which I don't think is high at all. Like Dr. Jesse Morse saying 9 to 12 month recovery from time of injury. Like, and then that's not even going into how bad Mack and Akers were last year coming back. So, dude, ETN just seems to have that 200 carry, like, I don't know, 70 target, like maybe 150 carry, 70 target-ish role sitting there for him. And the running back in his committee is actively dealing with an Achilles injury. Like everyone else in that RB2 range, like Zeke has Tony Pollard, there's Khalil Herbert in there, like Alexander, that's higher up, but all those guys have much bigger competition right now. Let's take ETN, especially now that we've gotten full freaking notice from Doug Peterson that he's 100% for OTAs.
I agree. And I am taking him before what I believe is the next tier drop off with Antonio Gibson, J.K. Dobbins, Elijah Mitchell, that group. But also I'm higher on Akers because I believe he's never touched back. Like 82% of the teams, 82% of the team's touches in the postseason in his rookie year, comes back, Achilles injury, returns far too soon, 2.4 yards per carry, 2 fumbles. He only fumbled 1 time all of college. Like, that's not Akers' forte. And so I just think they're going to go right back to him being an every down back, and we're getting a discount for that a year removed from Achilles injury.
What do you think on that, Hayden? Because look, if you go back and look at the Rams under McVay, every running back they've had has gotten that every down role. I'm just wondering if finally he's like, man, they keep getting hurt. Let's do the committee that they did do in the Super Bowl. It's one.
I think Cam Akers has the upside to be that every down back. Like, the odds of that happening, I can be influenced either way. Kyren Williams entering the mix as like a third down, like pass blocking back wasn't like my favorite choice. But I think Cam Akers, like, if he's truly healthy and he's as good as he's shown, he could be that like top 5 fantasy usage back on like a really good offense. So the upside case is still there.
I will say I don't even care if he's good, because I think he's going to get every touch. Be shitty. I don't give a damn, because you're going to get every touch.
There's a chance he's both, that he's good and he has like the role.
Yeah.
Like, that is like definitely within the range of outcomes.
I had Akers. I mean, I remember being all the Cam Akers versus Jonathan Taylor arguments last offseason that just didn't even end up mattering. But yeah, no, I was on Akers just because of that role. So it could happen.
And Sony Michel was an every touch back down the stretch. Yeah, like you said, McVay's always been an every touchback guy. Like,
I'm way more cool around this area. I think after the season, some folks, or maybe during the playoffs, like, he was being locked in as like this top 10 back. So especially
those people just tweet. They don't actually aren't all accountable.
Oh, fuck.
Daigle, you were asking about research. I looked at how ADPs have changed this year versus last year by position. I posted this on Twitter. And basically what's happened is this year, the wide receivers in the first like 5 rounds are moving up about like 6 spots compared to where they were. And every single running back, like literally the RB1 down to the RB48 to the RB62, it doesn't matter. Every single one of those running backs are going 6 to 12 spots after they were going last year. So like, for example, like Travis Etienne is like the RB20. He's being drafted like at 50th overall. Last year, like the RB20 was being drafted like at 40th overall. And this is true for the entire position. So like this RB dead zone that we've been talking about for the last couple of years, to me, we've priced it in now. Like, now it's like actually getting to the debates. Okay, what's better, the wide receiver 38 or the RB19? Like, those are the type of conversations we're all of a sudden having. So it's going to make like the strategy part of all the, like, where you should be taking running backs a lot more interesting, because Cam Akers should not, like, historically would not have been available in the 4th round. He would be a 3rd round pick.
And I will keep harping on the fact that running backs have higher ceilings than wide receivers. They're just more volatile. And so I still disagree with the idea of pushing wide receivers ahead of workhorse running backs. That's why I still like playing bully running back at the top of drafts, especially when the rest of the field is drafting wide receivers.
I will say there's that real nice sweet spot in rounds like 7 through 9 where you have Clyde, CPAT, Miles Sanders, and Chase Edmonds, who have the potential, maybe not workhorses. So, but if you like, if you're able to get kind of those tier 1 wide receivers early and maybe only 1 running back, you can still have a roster construction where you only need like 5 running backs, even though you're not taking your second one till round 7 or 8. So that's actually made me a little more willing to go early tight end and try to get some Mark Andrews in the second, because Hayden's right though. Like, you go down, and if you have like running back and wide receiver pulled up, like, you'll see like the running back 33 is next to like the wide receiver 50. So it gets like, there's that one kind of tier of wide receivers. Like, you got Jacoby Myers, Kenny Galladay, a couple other guys you can kind of talk yourself into, and then it gets ugly fast.
All right. I think in Lamar here, Hayden.
Is Bateman available?
Bateman's not available.
It doesn't really matter.
He's already gone.
He's never available.
Yeah. He and Mooney fly off, even though
I wouldn't go Lamar personally.
Well, he starred. I'm going Lamar. So,
Kyler over Lamar.
I'll go Lamar.
I like Michael Thomas personally. Screw it.
I'm fine with Michael Thomas. That's fine. I'm just kind of looking around here, but yeah, we're kind of in that range, because like Elijah Moore, the ADP's here, but I'm not drafting Elijah Moore. That's insane.
Nah, not right now.
Zach Wilson will keep 1 receiver alive, and good luck figuring out who it is.
Can we just stand back for a second and speak about how absurd it is that one Garrett Wilson practice route has like taken over fantasy Twitter for like more than an hour? Like, are you kidding me? Yeah, he slipped. They'll have one practice route freaking define a whole player. I see people throwing the scouting reports up there like, I told you so. Like, my God, people, like, it's fair to have concerns, but what we're talking about practice? Come on.
If you had to choose one, gun to your head, would you choose Garrett Wilson slipping or Christian Watson being Jamar Chase because he has drops in practice?
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna take C. Najee Harris being 4 pounds heavier than he was.
Oh well, in that case, I'll take D. CeeDee Lamb being 1 inch taller.
That's great. No, that's
24-year-old.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that, and I also appreciate Paris Campbell like having his own genre at this point. It's just something new every year, but it's always good for Paris Campbell.
Paris Campbell is the Devontae Parker of OTAs. Like Paris Campbell's always there catching passes at OTAs. I still believe he can be a good product if he's healthy.
For sure.
Very clearly, staying healthy is a skill, and Paris Campbell lost that skill long ago.
It does seem like he's going to be there underneath a player. I mean, Alec Pierce is
every year.
I mean, it's going to be Pierce and Doolin probably as a field stretcher, and then Paris as that dude. And we'll see about Frank Reich's Naeem Hines infatuation. Kyler Murray at the end of round 6. What world are we living in, guys? Let's freaking go.
I like that because there's players after him. Like you can just if you miss out on Marquise, you can get Hopkins or just Zach Ertz. Like there's your quarterback tight end pairing already.
Love it.
Or if you like giving money away, you can draft Rondale Moore.
See, dude. So my nightmare at Rondale is that he's not going to like Hollywood Brown's going to be in the slot.
That's the problem, man. Hollywood's a slot receiver. He is Christian Kirk. He's a better version of Christian Kirk, like vertical slot receiver. That is exactly what Marquise Brown is. If he plays even 30% of the snaps in the slot, how is Rondale going to be an option?
Then Duke's going to come back in, take his outside spot, and it's going to be Wesley or AJ Green the other side. Hollywood, Ertz, and we'll see Rondale for 10 snaps again.
I'm not defending Moore by any means, but at least we know his breakout year, freshman year, long ago, and college was on the outside. But again, we may have already moved past that potential under Cliff Kingsbury. I'm not sure his brain expands that far.
Put him into the Chase Edmonds
outside
role.
of what he pigeonholes him at.
Make him Chase Edmonds. That's my take.
Ooh,
that'd be fine. That'd be okay.
They don't. I mean, I guess they have Daryl now, Daigle's boy. But I don't know how Daryl's going to have that Chase Edmonds role. I think
so bad. Daryl is so bad.
But he gets every touch. That doesn't matter if he's bad.
So bad. No, he is so bad. He's so
running back is bad. Everyone running back 3 on is bad.
He's really bad. He's
not that bad.
We'll see what
he did moss a linebacker against the Raiders that one time.
I'm gonna look in this. I'm gonna look at this contract. I have not been able to find it.
No, dude. I have gone to the depths of hell, shaking hands. You can't find the contract. It's not on the interweb.com. Like
that means it's got to be nothing.
You can only find up to $2.5 million. That's all I have. I don't know what the hell he signed for at all. But I do know James Conner hasn't played in 16 games or 17 now in any season ever. So that's why you draft Darrell Williams. That's all.
Yeah, because
don't tell me.
because James Conner owners were so pissed about last season. What the? Come on, who cares if he plays 13 games if he's an RB1?
No, I'm fine with that. Like again, I'm not advocating for ignoring James Conner. You should, but you should also draft Darrell Williams. Because when he's out, all the touches will go to Darrell Williams. Because you ain't drafting Keontae Ingram. Imagine wasting a pick on that guy.
Like it could just be Eno, man. I'm not saying the answer.
But not Eno.
It's not a 7th round running back from 2 years ago.
No. Can't be Eno.
It's not Eno. Literally cannot be Eno.
It's Rondale Moore. I already solved it.
We're literally hyping up Darrell Williams because of an alleged Patrick Mahomes phone call. This is so ridiculous. He might not make the team.
No. He's an every down back when the guy's injured. He's always been that.
Okay.
I bet he signed for the vet.
The Cardinals used Jonathan Ward over Eno Benjamin 2 years in a row, and everyone still says Eno Benjamin.
That was
hilarious.
That was a bit.
I let everyone keep saying Eno Benjamin so people can waste their draft picks. That's great.
And the worst part for the Eno truthers, he had that one sick run against the 49ers where he like truck stick that dude. So now they can always pull up this one run and be like, come on, like we were right.
Because
tomorrow,
go ahead.
Ian, tomorrow you got to post an Eno Benjamin highlight tape on Twitter.
I wonder how long I can make Eno. I'm not sure if it's going to be able to start with a 3.
And do it like a Rick roll after like the first highlight. Just a Rick roll.
That's genius. I'm gonna have to thread it and then be like, shout out Hayden for this.
Yeah, that's right.
Thread the shout out.
You'll make $1 million.
Highlight. Oh my gosh. The next tweet in the thread is just the thread emoji, and then the next tweet in the thread is just a shout out to Hayden. That's how you thread.
That's right. We'll both make $250,000. It'll be great.
I want to tweet a thread on why I don't want to read threads. Like I just want to do 7 tweets on why I hate threads.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I usually I'm just used to kind of tweeting my stream of conscious, and if you look at it chronologically, like it might be a thread. I don't know, but it's just fucking Twitter. Chill out.
I will not look at your tweets chronologically. There's no way. I will go insane.
That's fair.
I'll fucking lose it. All right, what do we have here? 2 receivers, 3 running backs. Lamar.
We need receivers, man. We need a double dip unless we got an insane tight end value.
No, Lockett and
I like Lockett, man. They're probably going to sign Baker.
Yeah, no, I like Lockett. That's fine. I always take Lockett. I'm going to end up with. I think Lockett's going to be my highest roster player, just because he's Tyler freaking Lockett.
Do you think? All right, I'll let you guys do your next pick, but like, what happens if Watson gets suspended the whole year? Isn't the best interest of the Browns and Baker to have him start this year?
There's no way, right? Like that. I like where your head's at, but I think they've already just like thrown stones at one another. I think it's just
Baker. Like,
over.
Just fucking do it. You're there. Just throw water under the bridge, maybe.
He didn't even go to the Bahamas. He got a free trip to the Bahamas to see Watson's party, and he didn't go.
I don't blame him, man. That picture of him and Watson would have meme forever.
I need another receiver. Gage is 90. I like
Gage. I like Christian Kirk.
I can wait on probably go Olave with Michael Thomas.
I wrote an article previewing the Jaguars yesterday, and I ranked Kirk ahead of Gage, and then I talked about it with Dwayne, and now I want Gage ahead of Kirk. So I'm torn. I'm torn, guys. But Gage, I think Gage is better than. I think Gage is the better wide receiver than Kirk. He's in the better offense. Like, okay, the money obviously is really in Kirk's favor, but Gage got paid $30 million too, and without Godwin there, man. Like, if you look at the way the Falcons use Gage, like he did everything, but they love just those Deontay Johnson, like don't even move screens. And I think he could be that guy while Godwin is out of the picture and still be pretty good on the other side of things.
Yeah, there's no reason for the Bucs to rush Godwin back. That division's terrible. Their roster's amazing. Why not just put him on the PUP list?
He got paid. Why would he rush back? He got a contract.
One plays with Tom Brady, one plays with Trevor Lawrence. And I do have hope in Trevor Lawrence, but that's the answer. Like, that's literally as far as your brain needs to go, and then move on to the next question.
But you can almost argue that if we're looking for a second quarterback, drafting Christian Kirk now opens up a stack, and we don't have Tom Brady. That's where best ball messes with my brain so much.
That's true too. But we also don't have any Jets. Like I draft Jaguars when I have Jets for week 17. And I'm still memorizing my week 17 matchups. They're a little soft, but
I guess he's going to arrest you, Daigle.
Hey, how about this, Daigle? Why don't we do the contrarian week 17 matchups then? Because everyone's going to be loaded up on the good
Is
ones.
Jets and Jaguars not contrarian enough? You want me to get worse than that? At least if I'm admitting
you're already going there.
Yeah. At least I'm admitting they won't stop one another. Like, I'm not drafting Bengals because they run into the Bills in week 17.
What does that mean? They run into the Bills? That game could be a fucking
great
shootout.
Everyone has completely galaxy brain them out. Bengals, Bills will have an over under of 53.
Yeah. And then
really?
What about
do we really disagree?
What about Chiefs and Broncos? But I feel like we can go both ways on this. Like, what if it's freaking a snowstorm in Cincinnati in January? Like, there are all these variables. I'm fine at the end of the draft if you have some correlation to dip your foot in the water with it. But my God, this better be like the 5th thing on your mind when picking a player.
You just been put on the FBI watch list, Ian.
My God, I've never heard so much about a week 17 schedule right now. You got to get there, people.
Yeah, but you have to, but you still have to get there, but then you have to be ready to win, dude.
Like just the implication that we know what the defenses are going to be like in week 17 is insane to me. And what is
defenses don't matter. Remember that too. So just like
right. So
my thing is the team stack is where the correlation is, and like the bring back option, there's like this much correlation. Like we're pretending like it's massive. The team stack is where the correlation is not. Like the bring back option has a little bit of correlation, but it's not that much. Like focus on the team stacks, and less so about the game stacks.
I think it's being properly evaluated. Personally,
I think Daigle's pissed.
Not pissed. Bro, you get 100.
Daigle's not trying to get canceled out here.
You remember, I'm running on the campaign. You look at every single podcast title, how to win 2 million. I am telling you, I won't win 2 million. I am your mayor of Underdog. I am running on 16 leagues and 12-team leagues. Those are the winners of money.
Nah, I'm gonna win 2 million. You do your thing.
I know you will. I won't though. I won't win 2 million, people. I'm telling you.
Who do I have?
Yeah, let's look at free Duke Johnson's team. Let's see what he's cooking with.
He got a suspended wide receiver. He has. Let's see here. I do always draft DeAndre Hopkins with Kyler Murray.
This team's sick, and you guys know it. Just tell the people.
Oh,
tell the people what they already know. The squad's looking great.
What's funny is that, Ian, you do have a 49ers Saints Week 17 stack right here. So just to let you know.
Maybe I planned it.
Ian's using his platform to get better EV.
Oh my goodness, that'd be a wild move.
How is drafting like where you sign up? Is it literally just based on when you sign up? Is that how it works, Hayden? I've actually never known.
It's a randomizer. We have to call Pete Overs at every single time these fill. Like, run it again.
All right. Well, Carlos, put your screen name in the chat, and we'll give you a free $25 on Underdog for always drafting the 111. Even though it is a good spot to grab DeAndre Swift every time, I'll still give you a free $25. So put your screen name in the chat. You're the winner this week.
Are we concerned at all that Swift is a garbage time extraordinaire and that he's the Chase Edmonds to the Jamal Williams, who could be the James Conner this year?
Ooh, I like that take. Jamal Williams is somebody I'm on.
Fun stat I found today. DeAndre Swift had the highest percentage of his receptions come in the fourth quarter while down 7 or more points. It was like 33%. It was freaking crazy. Like he's good, but
I believe only Alvin Kamara has more. And now this goes to your garbage time thing, but I think only Alvin Kamara has more targets than Swift the past 2 years, though. Swift is always out there.
And they count the same, so.
And also Dan Campbell, week 10 on, ran the ball at a top 4 rate even when trailing. Like, he literally only established the run, which is great. Because however we get Swift touches, that's what we want. Because Swift does amazing things when he has the ball.
Man, Claypool fell to us. I like that, right?
Yep. It's about the correct ADP, but yeah, I guess he did fall right. Yeah, because we're way down here. Okay.
So he could be their slot. That'd be fun.
Sounds like it. The Athletic said he's like preparing for a more versatile role, and it is basically saying he's going to be the slot receiver.
Hayden, that was a baller thread you made, man. No, pause, I guess is what the kids are saying these days. But the Gronk news in particular, I went back and instead of saying no, you just say pause if you're trying not to sound like you like men. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Good thing. But I'm happy in life. Okay.
But anyway, Greg Allman, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, saying the expectation is still at Gronk is coming.
I'm freaking out. I'm gonna get auto drafted. I'll take Holiday. That's fine.
So, dude, Gronk is he's tight end 12. Like, I think he's starting to nudge up there, but he should be the tight end 6 once he is fully good to go. He should be a tight end 6. Keep drafting all the Gronk.
Hayden, Daniel wants to know if you're going to be in Brooklyn on the 21st. There's no way you're cross country on the 21st.
What's going on in Brooklyn on the 21st?
That is a good question, actually. Answer that, Daniel. Question for you. What's going on in Brooklyn?
Should I be there? I don't plan on being there.
Josh will be there because he lives around there, but why should Hayden
It's going to be like
there?
an NFT conference or something.
Is it a DeVito Duke concept concert? I don't
know. I love asking you if you're going to be at New York NFT. That's my new favorite bit.
Gosh.
0 chance.
No, I'm not leaving. Have you guys been to Southern California? I don't want to leave ever. It's nice here.
Have you been to California? Been to New York? Never leaving.
Brooklyn.
Sometimes answers are that simple.
Brooklyn is kind of cool though.
Man,
it's a good visit. It's like Vegas. 3 nights and get the hell out.
That's the thing, but dude, you know what annoys me about New York people is when they're like, yeah, they act like they're from New York City when half the time it's like an hour away. And I don't know, man, like spare me the idea that New York's like outside the city is that much better than Ohio. They act like I'm some sort of like hillbilly when it's like, you got to get on a train for like an hour and 15 minutes to go see anything. So
that's literally everyone. Everyone loves a place because their parents had sex there one time. It's ridiculous. Like, calm down. Just because you live somewhere doesn't mean it's your favorite effing place ever.
Oh my God. No. All right. Oh, I almost drafted Tim Patrick over Zach Ertz.
Also, if you have a choice, don't live where snow is. That's my only suggestion in life. As someone who's lived in every time zone multiple times, don't live where snow is.
Yeah, snow sucks. Dude, especially, you got to be careful about going too far out of the way Man, I don't know how those roads get cleared eventually. I'm hearing things about Montana though. Is Montana, if we were gambling about like what's going to be the Denver in like 20 years, could it be somewhere in Montana?
I don't know if it's Montana, but Montana is nice, like as isolated as it is.
So I don't know. I
don't know if it's like the Silicon Valley of 2050, if that's what you're asking.
Is that where you, Daigle, you've had some baller pictures like on a canoe and shit. Is that where you go?
Colorado a lot of time. Utah is shockingly beautiful. It is
Daigle,
like stunning.
If I move to Las Vegas in the suburbs, have I lost my mind?
Yes, absolutely.
I almost moved to Henderson. Henderson's supposed to be the spot, Hayden.
Henderson is basically like it's like being on the strip. Off. You tell everyone you're on the strip, but you're actually not. Yeah.
You're like 20 minutes away.
It's like living in Skokie and telling everyone you live in Chicago. Like, dude, actually, you're like,
there's no income tax. You go to Zillow and shit, and prices look more than affordable. I saw CSU Ram 88. Shout out Peter Jennings talking though. I think he had like a thread like, what's like the best place to live with like no natural disaster risk. And the concern with Las Vegas and Nevada was like water loss, and they were saying the same thing about New Mexico. So I don't know what that's going to entail, but kind of do like water. So got to make sure they have that.
I will say, Mr. Scampers, Iceland is the best place. Iceland and Melbourne, Australia are
Iceland's
literally
not real.
Always
Australia.
It's only 5 hours from Boston. Like it's the easiest flight you could ever take. Literally always top 2 in safety in the world. Like the safest cities in the world are always Melbourne and Iceland. Always. Reykjavik, Iceland in particular.
Hate to break it to you guys, but Iceland's not real. They named it a shitty name like Iceland so no one would go there, and it's actually a bay of water that is really helping out Switzerland and those countries.
Even as someone who's really into NFTs and crypto, I don't quite understand Daniel Hayden, but apparently okay, good. Okay.
Incubators, that's like Underdog. It's like our partners, like some of
our partners, okay.
Like the incubators, yeah.
And FSC loads. There you go. We're all aware of what's going on now. Montana is the Boulder of billionaires. So Boulder, I used to love. I still love, actually. It's a beautiful place. And I thought about moving there, but then you look around and it's not the most cultured place. It's pretty much everyone looks like Hayden's wedding party. It's all the same.
Hayden,
I was catching bullets from that one. Yeah.
Is Rojo this year's James Conner?
No.
What?
No.
Who's getting the goal line carries in KC?
Clyde Edwards is this year's James Conner. Now we're talking.
Clyde Edwards is a better chance to be that because he can catch passes. Ronald Jones can't. But Jones is, to answer your question, is getting the goal line carries.
I mean, Connor was like a high-end RB2 even before Evans got hurt. That's what I'm saying.
But Connors was an every down back. Like Edwards-Helaire has a better opportunity of being that. Connor in Pittsburgh?
I'm saying Connor in Arizona last year before Evans got hurt was still just scoring a stupid amount of touchdowns.
Yeah, that's wrong. That's absolutely Ron Jones. Clyde Edwards-Helaire only has 5. Clyde Edwards-Helaire only has 5 carries inside the 5-yard line since week 2 of his rookie year. Like literally, they don't ever use him inside the 5-yard line.
Dude, his last one was sick though. Like 2 Steelers just bounced off him, and I think he hurt his shoulder on the play, unfortunately. Yeah. But no, okay, I like Clyde where he's going too. I think the answer is like all these Chiefs are cheap as hell. Draft all of them except Juju Smith-Schuster, because like what the hell are we trying to kid ourselves?
I don't know. I like Juju Smith-Schuster.
Of course you do.
Someone who has actually proven he can earn targets. MVS can't earn targets.
Half decade.
Sky Moore is getting his ADP is ridiculous.
Anywhere's number 24. That's a red flag. It's not good. And I don't want to hear that was Kobe's number. RIP. Gotta love Kobe.
I assure you, I was not going to say that.
We're a wide.
What about tight end, Daigle?
We're in this range.
Jeez. What about quarterback 2? To be like any of the quarterback 2s?
I'm fine with Alberto, but you can also get him later. Jameis, I've been waiting on.
Yeah,
Alberto's another guy.
We're still pretty early according to ADP, though.
I can be talked into Fields and Kmet. I don't like Kmet though, but
I don't like Kmet either. But I could be talking to Fields. I could do Fields.
You guys missed Gronk by 2 picks. That sucks.
We also have DeAndre Swift. We got those Bears line stacks, so why not for Week 17? Because I'm already behind that. Ian's favorite thing.
Got to have Bears lines. God forbid.
We just got 6 cents in EV, dude.
Hell yeah. Bro, suck my EV.
Oh, goodness. We're only in June, guys. I can't wait to see what the rest of this offseason has.
Oh, God, I forget. It's the month and a half, man, where nothing happens. Absolutely nothing happens.
Except the USFL. Let's go, baby. 5 more weeks. Champion will be crowned.
Hayden, don't watch it. Just take my advice. Yeah, I always steer you correct.
If you love football, You love football.
No,
I understand you guys got to pay. I understand you guys got to pay the bills. To each their own.
It's kind of it's offensive that we call it football. Actually, like it's more like dodgeball.
Ian, give me is it actually okay football? Like where are you at with it?
I'm fine with it, man. There's a handful of sick plays every week. I'm not saying to blow off your plans and sit down just straight ahead with one TV on with the USFL, but it's 2022. Who doesn't have multiple TVs in their living room? Throw it on the side, bitch. And if you need to go out with the lady during the day and stuff, that's fine. You can go watch the extended highlights for 10 minutes if you feel like catching up, or just dismiss it, though. I mean, clearly John hasn't watched since week 1. Like, they've been doing fine, man. And, everyone that but it's this idea that people like John need to dismiss it. Like, just don't watch it then to act like it's this bad. Or I'll show a sick highlight and the first 5 replies are no one's in the stands. Like, yeah, bro, there's 8 teams in Birmingham. How many people are even in Birmingham in the first place? So, hey, I'm fine with it. Me and dozens of us are enjoying it.
On the other hand, it's people that encourage it when it's such a poor product, which is what's bad, in my opinion. Like, no.
You don't watch
say what is wrong. I do.
When's the last game you watched? Be honest.
I literally watch every week. Sadly, Hayden, DraftKings literally had 50K to first week 1. They literally now are down all the way to 10K, and they took away the Wildcat. Like, there's no reason to watch it at all. You can't gamble on it. You can't bet on it. It's the worst sport possible. I am your honest friend. I'm literally being honest with you. I'm not saying anything just because I like something. Like, it's bad. There's not going to be a single NFL player literally at all in week 1 from this league. It's a developmental league.
Jonathan Adams will play at least an NFL preseason snap.
No.
I'll bet you.
Jonathan Adams drops every pass, Hayden. Do not. No. He's a disgrace.
I don't care if you both were saying it's the best product ever. I'm still not going to watch this shit.
Don't. I'm telling you. Even if I liked it, do not watch it. It is a disgrace. And that's a USFL
Daigle's usually
talk
a
for the
positive
day.
person. Like, do you see me going to NBA people and just being like, your league is shit. It's not good. It's not as good as NFL football. Hardy har har. All right, what's our alternative right now? Are you watching reruns of NFL games, Daigle? Or are you just bitching about every random training camp storyline like the rest of these frauds in the industry?
Why does that have to encapsulate my life? Why does USFL?
It's 4 games. It's 4 games. That's a Sunday afternoon slate for an entire week.
You made it seem like you were angry because people aren't watching football, but it's not football.
I don't care if they don't watch. I care when they don't watch and they feel like slandering it. Like, just don't watch and shut your mouth.
I watch and slander. I do both. I literally watch every weekend. I slander.
I don't believe you watch.
You don't have to. That's fine. I watch. I do. I can pull up all my stats I have from it. I actually chart everything because that's what I do in DFS. We're trying to win every week.
You can just.
I imagine I chart probably as much as anyone else, honestly, who watches it.
Yeah, with your pencil. That's saving time.
Yeah, sure. I'm telling you, Hayden, just don't do anything. Don't listen to anybody.
All right,
move on, host. Drive the car.
You started screaming. I'm just pleasantly talking about life.
Well, I'm drafting Jalen Tolbert, the discount version of Russell Gage, baby.
James Washington.
I do hold out a little hope for James Washington, but come on.
Oh, he's making less than the $2 million winner in Best Ball Mania 3, though, so I had to get rid of him, sadly.
I feel like Tolbert and Romeo, like Hayden, you do a really good job scouting the obviously the incoming rookies, even like looking at their college film more than most. Jalen Tolbert and Romeo Dobbs, are they both kind of guys that check a lot of boxes, but like the problem is just the competition level, right?
Yeah, I actually didn't end up watching Romeo Dobbs because I didn't know where he's going to get drafted. I watched Jalen Tolbert. He's like a kind of slower, deep threat, contested catch, Auden Tate type of player. Hopefully a little bit better than that. So, yeah, he fits better in best ball. I think he's going to be a number 3 or number 4 his entire career. But if he luck boxes into a couple games where CeeDee Lamb misses out, I think he can catch a long touchdown pass.
We'll see when Gallup gets back. That's another one, man. Like, Gallup's probably going to miss the first month of the year. Just like Godwin, already paid. Why rush him back?
Yep.
I don't worry about James Washington's walking boot. I would like Tolbert to be back right now. That's a little bit concerning, but I'm still drafting Tolbert for sure over all the others. Simi Fihoko, who's like 25 years old already, literally didn't develop at all last year. Like that's the biggest joke running at OTAs right now.
The answer is Dalton Schultz. It's as easy as that.
That's a good answer. That's a great, especially because he's always in that tier that drops off, and you can get him like a round or two later.
Yep.
I still feel like he's so mid, but he's gonna get the fantasy points anyways.
He seems like he'd be so mid, and like he's just always open though. I don't understand. He's not like doing anything crazy with the ball like after the catch, but he's kind of like always just like leaning forward, and I don't know.
Daigle, you're a Cowboys fan like me. Like, look, it's been great the last 2 years, but we weren't watching Schultz like the first 2 years. Like, man, who needs more opportunity? All the Cowboys nation was on Blake Jarwin, and he just got hurt unfortunately, and then lost his job.
All right. Looking at this is probably going to be a 3 or 4 tight end build. Now that I'm looking,
100%.
We'll probably have to sacrifice the 4 or 5 wide receivers, or running backs. But this range of running backs still is nice.
We can do a fourth, the worst running back we've ever selected with those 3 top ones. I think
we can wait.
I
on
like
more
Pickens, man. I like Pickens.
Okay.
Hey, and about these late round tight ends. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Daigle.
No. I was going to say I still worry about Pickens and like Steelers wide receivers because like only one of them can really survive, right? From Pickett or Trubisky. Can they sustain 2?
Pickett's all right.
I guess so.
It's best ball. If Deontay gets out of the picture, who's earning targets? Because earning targets is such a skill. Like where those targets going to go? All of a sudden, what's just going to happen is the Chase Claypool's and George Pickens are going to get all of them.
All right, go ahead, Ian. Sorry.
I was going to say with these late round tight ends, like I know we say this every year, but if you look at the history of tight ends, they are becoming more productive as we get into the year 2022. And we're not talking about these, we're not falling into the Adam Troutman traps, which, hey, hand up, I was there. Like we're talking about Tyler Higbee, who played every snap last year, has Stafford, has a $40 million contract. Gerald Everett making more money than Jared Cook did, who got 85 targets there. He's proven to did good things with Russell in the second half, saved maybe the worst game that ever happened. Evan Ingram, former first-round pick, $9 million this year. He could be Trevor Lawrence's number 1. All due respect to Dan Arnold. I get it, but come on. Like, Hayden Hurst could be Joe Burrow's tight end 1. Like, I feel like there are more legitimate options this time around. Hooper, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's why I really don't mind 4 tight end builds. Also, it seems like a lot of people automate, like default to 2 tight ends. When again, Hayden, we've had this, we all had this talk about a month ago already, that like it is the most volatile position in these tournaments. That's why drafting 4 is actually a good strategy. And so the fact that there are fewer people willing to draft 4, I think that's awesome. Like I love drafting 4 late runs this year for sure.
I would do 4 if it's like if your first one doesn't come to like round
correct
13. Yeah. I think for the most part, I'm on team 3. Maybe if you have Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews, you can do.
Even if you have Schultz, you don't need 4, right? Like
that's be 3.
Like 3 at most. Yeah.
But if it's like Hunter Henry and then Evan Ingram, and then you want to do Robert Tonyan and Austin Hooper, I think that you can get that weird if you wanted to.
I also saw on a clip from the show, the Underdog podcast, Hayden, that you were mentioning something about drafting, even by accident, the same quarterbacks, the same bye weeks on quarterbacks. Is that right?
Yeah. So there's like a uniqueness at quarterback thing. And like one of the ideas is if you draft 2 quarterbacks with the same bye week, they're going to be paired together less frequently. And that's true. Like typically quarterbacks are paired together like 6% of the time. 2 quarterbacks with the same bye, it's about like 3% of the time. So you're getting
that just be auto drafts too.
It could be auto drafts, or it could be a team that is just going to all of a sudden add a third quarterback after they realized it. My favorite way to get unique pairings at quarterback is 2 quarterbacks with like the very similar ADPs, like 93rd and 96 overall. For whatever reason, people don't like to double tap quarterback. It's usually I just drafted a quarterback, I'm pivoting away to somebody else, or their ADPs are just so close that it's like hard to like get them both together because somebody else is probably going to draft them. But if you get 2 quarterbacks that have like the same ADP, those 2 are not going to be paired very often, and you're not going to lose out on the bye week points as well. So that's my favorite like pairing to do it.
I've also been thinking about, Herzig first mentioned that Taylor Hines theory, and so I've been using that also with like a couple other star running backs if you can get their backup, like in the 17th, 18th round.
I've come around to as well the idea that like if Taylor went down, I do think Lindsey would get a good amount of the early down work, but Hines can handle some of that too. Like Hines would still be, even if Hines wouldn't be like the Tony Pollard, like top 5 handcuff, I still think he'd be someone that could arguably be top 15, top 20. And like, that's valuable.
100%.
Yeah. He, 4 seasons in the league, he's had 57 targets at least in every single season. Like he doesn't go away no matter what. So like Kenneth Gainwell last year, we're really just trying to say, how can you fall into more carries? And it'd be because Jonathan Taylor injury.
Whoa. I didn't say anything about Kenneth Gainwell. Naeem Hines, though.
I kind of like Kenneth Gainwell. I kind of like added Gainwell to Hurts.
No, you really don't.
He had 3 double-digit carry games, 50 targets last year as a rookie, and a 4-headed
backfield. I think he had
backfield.
2 inside the 5-yard line touches. Jordan Howard would
buddy. I just want targets.
Carries. No, in half PPR, you really don't. Like you think you want those targets, and then you play half PPR, and he gets no goal line.
But everyone's drafting 6 wide receivers to start their drafts. I want targets. I was told.
No, you want goal line touchdowns and insurance running backs.
Well, I can't promise that from game.
That was what was wild when I was writing about Miles Sanders. I assumed because Hurts did score a lot of goal line touchdowns. Nice.
It was Jordan Howard and Boston Scott.
I'd say Eagles running backs were still like 3rd in carries inside the 5-yard line. It was Jordan Howard and Boston Scott.
Boston Scott had like 12 at the goal line, and Miles Sanders had like 6.
It was unbelievable, man.
I don't remember this.
In the games they all played, Sanders did lead in carries inside the 5.
That's what I'm saying. Like it was just really, really unlucky how it went. So that's why I put him in with the CEH, CPAT, and a little bit lower down Edmonds group. In around 7.
There's a big argument among that tier right now between CEH, Cordero Patterson, and Sanders. Pretty much, that seems like the 3 that are jumbled in there.
Look, it just depends how the draft goes. That's why I've never been like you need to go 0 RB or whatever the hell we're calling it these days. And it's like just pick the best value based on stuff as you're going through and then adjust as you go on. Anytime you're going to try to be rigid with one of these things or make a complete stand, like we talk all the time about ADPs and just taking advantage of how they might be moving. So
if we go Jamal Williams here, Hayden, we do need a 5th running back, most likely, unless you think that's.
I would not personally go Jamal Williams.
That's cool. That's what I'm asking about. No big deal.
I feel like Evan Ingram makes sense to us if we want to go 3rd tight end. I think Evan Ingram.
We're going to go 4 tight end, so it doesn't matter. Like
Ingram's best tight end available.
I mean,
let's go Evan. We got to go tight end here for sure.
Kmet, Ingram, Alberto. At least, well, they all have different bye weeks too, so maybe not.
We need either Velus Jones or Byron Pringle. I'll let you break that tie, but we got Justin Fields, and we need him with a wide receiver. I think I would go Byron Pringle, but I can be sold on Velus, I guess.
What if Velus was a 4th-round pick? Would everyone just be okay with it?
Yeah, but he would not even be on our radar.
Okay, that's fair.
It has to be. We're just gonna go Pringle.
There is a phenomenon with guys that get overdrafted, and they people sour on them because
we're overdrafting Pringle right now. So an underdog.
Yeah, right. Alec Pierce a little bit, Dotson. It's like these guys went higher than we thought.
I also I do like Evan Ingram, but I think there's been a little too much hype for the wrong reasons on Ingram because everyone cites the coaching history.
That's silly, but he's 10 and 24.
Right. Yeah, I know. I totally agree. Yeah, but Peterson, remember, coached Travis Kelce, prime Zach Ertz, and Dallas Goedert. Of course, the tight ends got the ball a lot. So let's all just calm down. But I do like Evan Ingram.
I agree with that. And then it's a 1-year deal. It is $9 million. That's not nothing. I mean, it's OJ Howard's getting OJ Howard's getting $3 million. Accordingly, we're not really expecting him to take over for Dawson Knox. So it's good money in a wide open offense. Ingram could be the number 1 target getter there. It's possible. And see him 10 and 24. It's just, again, I think he is the I recorded Jaguars team preview today, and at the end of this spiel, I was like, I do not want to be the Evan Ingram guy. Do not make me the Evan Ingram guy. But
I'm fine with
as a 3rd tight end in best ball,
Hell yeah.
You're never going to draft him and redraft or anything. But if we see week 1 come by and he has an 80% route rate, which is very possible, he's going to be on the cover of every single waiver wire article.
Yeah, I'm so glad I'm doing best ball and not have to do waivers. Daigle, you still doing waiver wire stuff? You should lean into the best ball stuff and work less during the season.
That's Daigle's thing now.
I love redraft. I genuinely love redraft. The more people back up from it, the more I want to do it because that's the niche in the industry.
I do too, but waivers is just a grind, man. Do the waiver and like the trade article. Oh.
That's what I do. I grind. So that
you got to write it like you got to write before you can even watch all the games. Just hey, I'm happy. I'm happy you do it, Daigle.
Yeah, not true. No, I now I have to know everything by Tuesday morning, but I'm totally fine taking that on. I love knowing everything by Tuesday morning. It helps get my week started. I just can't breathe on Monday. Literally cannot breathe on Monday. But now, as y'all know, we take player news off our plate. It's going to be even better this year. It's going to be stronger this year.
That is true when you don't have player news.
Because imagine taking me off player news, how easy that would be on Monday, and they still didn't do it. I'll stop now. I'll stop talking. The alarm's going off. Hayden, you could answer this one probably easiest. This is my first year playing best ball. Is there a huge need to get unique with your builds?
The bigger the tournament, the more unique. I think it's going to be overrated because it's just hard to get unique.
No.
The difference between DFS and best ball is massive. Almost every player that gets drafted 100% of the time. So how you can only get so unique with these things. And like if you go zero running back, for example, there's less pairings. So like those zero running back builds, while they are less common, like as a whole, the pairings up top end up being the same a lot of the time anyways, because like last year it'd be like Devontae Adams, Calvin Ridley, because there wasn't another wide receiver by Calvin Ridley. So I think it's overrated. I think that you can tinker with it a little bit though.
And Ian,
by the way, I just said, oh no, realizing I needed a second quarterback and I just took my 9th wide receiver instead. So, oh well. Oh, I did get Julio though. Bro, yeah, Julio, wherever he signs, he's just going to end up being, if he goes to the Packers, he'll be a wide receiver 4 or something wild. If he goes anywhere else, he'll be higher than he is now. Will Fuller, same sentiment. OBJ is the one where I'm like, he's not signed and he's hurt. Like OBJ is the only one I'm not really pulling the trigger as much on.
Have you heard, either of you guys, a sentence about Will Fuller signing somewhere? A sentence. Anywhere.
Other than that the Browns apparently are out. Like that's the only thing.
At least with Julio, I'm like, he's might go here. He could go here.
The last thing I heard on Will Fuller is that he was still injured, right? They said his wrist is still injured, and that's all we know. Like it's apparently more serious than we thought since it's lingered this long.
Didn't Flores? I thought Flores hinted like there was maybe something going on more than just the finger. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, so I won't speak on it. But Julio, seriously, wherever he signs, it seems like he's going to sign to a contender like the Packers or even
Packers. Makes so much sense. They need him. I was watching Rashad Bateman for this next podcast, and when I was watching Rashad Bateman, I was always like looking at the film. I was like, is that Bateman or is that Sammy Watkins? And then like you press play, and I'm like, oh, that's clearly Sammy Watkins because he can't run. I love Sammy Watkins. He was toast last year. Like there's no way he's going to be a starter this year.
That's the way. He should have had that one touchdown. I don't know if he lost it in the light or what, but he just like stopped running and
the one that was like in the back of the end zone.
Yes.
I was like, what is going on?
That's genuinely how I feel though about Julio Jones. Like I know everyone's trying to get an ADP bump, and you will get your ADP advantage if he signs, but dude, there was no one more toast in the league. There's no one that just like stopped giving a shit. Like they traded
this legit hurt. He had like 120 yards in week 2.
But they traded a 2nd-round pick for him, then just cut him. They're like, we're done with this shit. Like,
that's Vrabel, though. Vrabel, if you're not practicing.
Vrabel talked about it, like audibly
Julio's
saying,
never
like,
practiced. AJB barely. AJB, fucking, we're talking about Roto World. Like, God, can you guys stop with the AJB maintenance day tweets?
Are they still doing that? Is it
still
still
did
going
it all
on?
Last season.
Last season. Oh, yeah, in season. I thought you meant right now. I was like, no.
It's like, the guy that hasn't practiced on Thursday all year still isn't practicing on Thursday.
All right, well, we're continuing our Saints. Well, we're getting Mark Ingram for sure.
How many running backs do you guys have? 3. Who are they?
We're gonna end up with 5.
Dogs.
Absolute dogs.
Yeah, okay. You got 3 at the top, freaking 15.
All right, we're going Ingram, and do you want to go Boston Scott? Do we want to go?
No, just stick with Ingram. Let's just stick with this. We're rocking and rolling with these guys. We need another receiver. Look at our receiver.
You go you think non-receivers is the most optimal?
In this build, look at our wide receivers, man. They're trash.
Ravens. I'm still memorizing week 17 lineup.
Duvernay, perfect.
Ian has them all down. Okay, Duvernay, there you go. That's fine. Tylen and Duvernay over Tylen Wallace. Is he gone? No, he's still there.
I'm hoping Hassan Haskins falls to me. The same man that ripped my heart out last November is going to win me 75K. Let's go.
I'm going to go
He
Tyler.
is a dog.
I'm going to go Wallace just because I think he's going to be less drafted than Duvernay. So that's the only reason I'm going to do this.
Hey, and I loved your write-up on Haskins. How he's just like the perfect Vrabel back.
He had like my favorite stat was like he faced like 9 defenders in the box, like 10 more carries than any other player in the entire freaking college football last year. Like it wasn't even close. Like he is the tone setter.
Only 6 of his 270 carries last year went for negative yards. Like all he does is take tackles and move the piles forward, even if it's an inch.
He's an absolute dog.
That's like the perfect, like that sort of running back. I feel like is just the Jamal Williams type, like the one that people on their couch like don't value, even like Melvin Gordon. Like you see the Tony Pollards and Javantes of the world breaking the tackle left and right. And that's great. I'm not saying breaking tackles is a bad thing, but there is something to be said for the running back that hits the B gap when the play design is for the B gap. And the coaches want to see that, like these old school guys. So, I mean,
Haskins also played 270 special team snaps in his career. Like he's making the roster and he's going to be the backup for sure.
Like Hilliard's the third. I think like, okay, it's not going to be Haskins, Derrick Henry season, but Deontay Foreman was a borderline RB2, I think, maybe even low end when Henry was out. That's fine for the 17th round.
There's also in best ball, I think insurance backs are worth more in best ball than they are in redraft because the week when Derrick Henry leaves in the first quarter and Hassan Haskins finishes with 2 touchdowns, in redraft, you weren't projecting that. Yeah. In best ball, you just automatically get those points. So there's a little bit of a difference between redraft and best ball with insurance running backs.
That is true. Where do we stand on right now? I have Haskins and Pirine in my queue. I like Chris Evans.
Haskins.
I'm going Haskins.
Man. Yeah, we're doing Haskins. We just touted him.
I'm doing Haskins. I'm for sure doing Haskins. I'm just wondering, like, is it weird that we don't like the Bengals backup running back is not being drafted? I guess that's my point. Like, if Mixon gets hurt, like everyone said he was going to last year, I think it probably leaned Pirine, man. He was out there in the last snap of the freaking Super Bowl. Like, I like Chris Evans too, but
They did lean Evans and Pirine though. Like Pirine took a majority of the touches, but remember also Evans was injured in a few of those games that Mixon was out for. So like it's a it's a 70-30, 80-20 committee. It's not an every down roll.
And I just hope that Mixon's I want every player to stay healthy, but my God, that week Mixon was banged up. You start trying to search for Chris Evans on Twitter and you're getting all that Hollywood bullshit. Like, my God, the most annoying guy to try to research in the league is Chris Evans.
Oh, that's good.
That Hollywood guy.
Like, come on. I'm just trying to find a practice report here. Like, give me a damn break. Mo Allen Cox. Oh, man, I wish.
I'm about to reset this and we'll look at the full draft and then get the hell out of here. Our first puppy
these quarterbacks are going late. Like Mac Jones is a 17th round pick. Like I know he's not like a fantasy guy, but like, I mean, at some point, like,
yeah,
jeez.
That's why I keep ending up with like Kendrick Bourne. It's like, well, if you're there because everyone's drafted Christian Watson instead, I guess I'll draft Kendrick Bourne.
I just settle for Wentz, but I got McLaurin and I don't know. Maybe Wentz was low key, even in his terrible year. Like, for some reason, when things go bad for Wentz, he starts running more than ever. So it actually kind of worked out okay a couple games of fantasy. So we'll see. Again, like in round 17, it's might be worth it than taking someone in a similar tier like 4 rounds earlier.
All right, Ian, you have your Kyler, Hopkins, Connor stacks.
I don't know, like Connor too. Oh well.
Yeah.
Live and learn.
So you got your, I mean, it's a good thing. Not live and learn.
Let's go Cardinals.
Yeah, it's a good thing. Now, you didn't add Auden Tate for your Cardinals Falcons stacks in the week 17, but
and every time one of my lineups gets posted on Twitter, everyone's like, way to free Duke Johnson, you fraud. So I got to get Duke in there in round 18 one.
Is he signed? He's not signed.
He's on the Bills.
He's on the Bills.
Oh,
they signed him.
Now they signed him before they drafted James Cook, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, he's on the Bills. He certainly exists in the NFL.
Maybe he could take Zach Moss's job. Probably not, but you can imagine.
Oh, he's better than Zach Moss.
You can imagine.
Of course, he's better than freaking all those backs.
I love this.
Oh, you have Zach. I didn't realize you had Zach.
Yeah,
you have a proper 4-man onslaught. Yeah, that's good. There's your Jacoby Myers, your Jalen Tolberts. I'm just looking for any other stacks you may have. Washington and Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, Washington, Terry,
yeah. I don't know who Washington plays in week 17.
Oh, no.
I don't think it matters.
Spare us.
It's fine. So it's okay. And then Hayden, we went with the superhero. It's beyond superhero, whatever that is. We went Avengers
Robust RB.
Oh, yeah. Robust.
That's just modified zero RB.
Javonte in the third
you
round.
Flip the board upside down, then it becomes 0 RB.
Never falls to the end of the third round. We got him. I do love Michael Pittman in this spot. Lamar, we added to Lamar as a wide receiver later on, but more importantly, still got our receivers that we thought fell.
You guys had a nice receiver run right there. You needed some and you got some.
And then keep patting them on. We got Justin Fields for that nightmarish Bears-Lions game in week 17 ready for, plus Albert O for the Broncos-Chargers stacks in week 17. So, no, Chargers, and I'm still learning. I'm still memorizing games.
The worst part about this is like
Rams, that's it.
There's obviously going to be high-scoring week 17 games like any other week, and then we're going to get these victory laps, and it's like, see, I said this was a top 5 week 17 matchup to target back in June.
I think I would have rather had 4 tight ends, to be honest, but, getting the unique Raven stack, that's fine. That's okay.
I feel like we needed somebody with Lamar, at least one.
That makes sense.
A chance.
You guys got 3 pretty solid tight ends. I mean, Komet should be an every down player now without Jimmy Graham stealing the red zone targets.
Ian, do you have a Komet take, like film, watching him? I do.
I'm not impressed, man. That's for sure.
I'm not impressed.
He's not impressed. Like my thing with him as a late round tight end, but now I'm not getting much from him because he's like almost a tight end 1. I was like, at least he's out on the field like every snap, or should be. And if we can play 90% of the snaps, that's fine. But man, I don't think he's good right now. But he's still young. We'll see. Yeah.
I mean, the argument is that he was only taken off the field in the red zone last year because Jimmy Graham was there. And I would imagine at least he gets that role this year. Maybe not. Who knows? But yeah, that's kind of the argument for Cole Kmet.
I've watched either all of them or 90% of Cole Kmet's games the last 2 years. I'm trying to think of a play he made.
He doesn't make plays, man. You're hoping he's like Austin Hooper, who also doesn't really make that many plays, but like lucks into like a decent role here. So I'm not ruling it out, but he's not he's the least sexy name out of all those wide receivers.
Yeah, I don't have much of him. Even in Justin Fields being like a QB1 in 4 of his last 5 starts, I don't have much Komet. We'll stick with Darnell Mooney. I imagine only one can survive. With that being said, Ian, what else do you have coming out over the next week or two?
Team previews flying. Got 4 articles out per week with 4 pods with my lovely co-host Dwayne McFarland. Also keeping it real for all you USFL fans out there. Previews and reviews each and every week until the end, baby. Continuing to grind it. Yeah, guys, I got to touch hella grass the last 2 weekends. I'm re-energized, ready to kind of get back into the grind, but also go to the pool. So look forward to seeing you guys next Thursday.
I bet that grass was touching your lips in particular.
You know me too well, Hayden.
Hayden, what do you have coming up this week?
I don't know. I've already done a lot this week. Go back to the YouTube show.
You're post honeymoon, and you're done.
It's June. I can only do so many ADP shows.
Well, either way, we'll be back next week. So until then, thanks for everyone tuning in. Remember, Underdog landing page also on 4for4.com. Literally all the projections, rankings, tiers that are coming out. My running back tier just landed. Top 60. Hassan Haskins is actually number 60 because I felt the need, even though I don't project him there, to jam him in so everyone drafts him. And they're all there on one helpful page on the site. So until next week, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.